We have got a little sit down with 2cureX and Ole. For people not familiar with 2cureX, can you give us a brief explanation of the company and the product?
Sure. 2cureX has actually been around for a while. We were spun out of Carlsberg Research in the end of 2006. The product that we have developed is a product that we call IndiTreat, stands for individual treatment, that can uniquely match the individual patient with an effective treatment. And here you need to realize, when you are in the cancer space, only a small proportion of the patients do actually respond to the treatment. We need to improve that, and that's where IndiTreat can help. So not only will IndiTreat give the patient a more efficient treatment, it will also lower the cost for the healthcare system. So that is what 2cureX is all about, is to launch this product so that it can help hospitals, cancer clinics of finding the optimal treatment. And very importantly here, we are working with drugs that already are approved. So we take a panel of drugs, combine them, and immediately after the test, the patient will be treated.
And the IndiTreat can be applied to several cancer entities. Can you say which one do you work with now and how complicated is it to add others?
Right. Today we work with 3 major cancers: colorectal cancer, pancreatic cancer, and ovarian cancer. We have some criteria for taking in new cancers because, in essence, IndiTreat can work with most solid cancers. And the criteria we have is that, first, there needs to be a medical need. Second, we need clinical partners. We need partners that are well known in the cancer space, sort of it will be peers within oncology. And then lastly, we need to ensure that there are not technical challenges, but that comes last. So very important that we have the right partners at the outset.
And you have an ongoing clinical validation study at the moment. Mm-hmm. Can you give us an update on that one and when it's estimated to be finished?
Right. The first trial that we launched was in colorectal cancer. And we actually came out with a midterm analysis here early this year, where we met actually both the primary endpoint and the secondary endpoint. That's very important. So we showed that the IndiTreat test can provide efficient treatment, and at the same time we showed that there were some challenging technical issues that we were handling as well. So when you cross that midterm evaluation, you can continue the trial to conclusion, and that will happen. End of next year, beginning of 21.
And the cancer space is quite huge. And how's the competition in this specific area?
There is competition. If there was not, you'll probably have a problem. So timing is everything, obviously. The competition we have is primarily in the academic area. There's a lot of very well-known academic groups that are working with this, and actually they more or less market the technology for us, showing that this concept, this principle, really is able to show ex vivo, outside the patient, how the tumor behaves in the patient. So commercially, we are in a very good shape. We have strong IP issued in both Europe and the US and other territories. We have these strong clinical partnerships, and we have that in Denmark, in Germany, and also in the UK. And we are expanding into other countries in the European countries initially.
And you're now conducting a rights issue to bring in about 25 million SEK. What will the capital be used to?
Now, we actually announced that our IPO in November 2017, that when we were to launch IndiTreat, we will go out and ask the market for probably around 20 million SEK. And that's what we do now. So the product is now ready for launch in 2020, but already here in 2019, we do a pre-launch. So that's where a lot of the proceeds are going to be used. There will also be some of the proceeds used for the clinical studies that we finance together with our clinical partners, because they finance a major part of it, and then for development of the company to become commercially attractive for the market.
Maarten, as Chief Business Officer, can you explain the pre-launch and launch a little bit more in detail?
Yes, I can. We want to launch IndiTreat in 2020. In order to do so, we need to prepare ourselves as a commercial company. So we've said in 2019, we want to do a soft launch, a pre-launch of IndiTreat with some selected customers. This is a process that is happening right now here in 2019, that we are establishing collaboration with a couple of customers so that we can test our ordering process, our testing processes, our billing process, and this is what we call a pre-launch, and that is in the process as we speak.
And this estimated market launch then in 2020, in what countries do you see them?
So in 20 we feel that we are ready for a fully launch IndiTreat. We will launch in our main markets, Germany, the UK and the Nordics. In all these three markets, Nordics as one market, we have very strong partners, clinical partners, where we have done our clinical trials and where we have taken these customers already to a certain level. And this is where we will start with launching IndiTreat. Beyond that, we will add other large European countries to it.
And when do you see enough revenue to be cash flow positive?
At the end of 21, we believe we will be cash flow positive.
And finally, Ole, why would you say that 2cureX is a good investment?
2cureX is a fantastic investment. and there's a couple of reasons for that. Point one, we are matching the patient with an effective treatment. Almost equally important, we can match the patient with treatments that does not work. So we need to avoid that, because these patients would then be inflicted with severe side effects. So that's on the technical side. Then we have solid IP, which is very important, obviously, both Europe and the US. We have these clinical partnerships. So these major hospitals, they are actually helping in providing information to the market. We will be at a major conference later this year where our clinical partner will present data from the clinical trials. And last but not least, we have an attractive risk-reward profile. As 2cureX is not making our own drugs, we are actually finding the combination of drugs that's already on the market that works. So the risk is lower, but the market is enormous. So we think that those parameters make 2cureX a good investment.
Thank you for your time.
Welcome.